Argentina got a new president who sounds completely crazy.
And he's been called the Trump of South America.
Argentina elected the first self-identified libertarian president in history.
Says he'll bring a chainsaw to the economy. In fact, he brought a chainsaw to many of his campaign rallies.
Is he a madman?
La bandera anarcocapitalista.
No está muy bien en sus cabales.
Or a savior?
He's a rockstar.
Can his libertarian ideas transform Argentina into a beacon of prosperity?
Complete libertarian wants to replace the Argentinian peso with the US dollar, end the peso, close the central bank, get rid of tuition-free public education.
Afuera.
You have to do reforms as fast as possible to get to the other side.
Comenzamos el camino de la reconstrucción de nuestro país.
Coming up, Reason visited Argentina to find out if Javier Milei's reforms are working.
Los argentinos, de manera contundente, han expresado
On the ground in Buenos Aires, 6 months after Milei took office, a massive protest filled the public squares and streets outside the national legislature and presidential palace. Congress was voting on a reform package that would deliver on part of his agenda. Nearly 1 in 3 Argentine workers belong to a union, and organized labor holds tremendous political power and ability to mobilize large protests like this. Participants say Milei's agenda helps the rich and handicaps the poor.
Eso está puesto para otros intereses y no para los intereses populares.
Silvia Saravia is the national coordinator for a left-wing populist political party called Free Movement of the South, which opposes Milei.
Por ejemplo, de algunas cuestiones fiscales que benefician a los sectores más ricos en detrimento de los sectores más empobrecidos.
If Milei gets his way, unions will be crippled by the time he leaves office. He wants to privatize sectors like the airline industry, which is dominated by organized labor, and to end the mandatory deduction of union dues. That would mean workers would have to actively choose to hand over parts of their salaries to these groups.
Milei lo que está haciendo, destruyendo la ciencia, destruyendo la tecnología, destruyendo la educación pública, lo que está haciendo es allanándole el camino a esos sectores que solo quieren llevarse la materia prima. Esto es algo muy viejo en la historia del mundo.
Protesters waved Marxist hammer and sickle flags and pictures of Che Guevara, the communist icon. Che was the ideological brains behind the Cuban Revolution, but he was born here in Argentina.
Por supuesto, nosotros reivindicamos al Che, reivindicamos su moral y reivindicamos su lucha. Un hombre que teniéndolo todo, abandonó todos sus intereses por la causa de la revolución de los más necesitados.
Daniel Aguirre is with the Argentine Rebel Movement, a Marxist political group.
¿Y ustedes quieren socialismo en este país?
Absolutamente, creemos que tiene que haber un reparto de la riqueza, no que la riqueza la acumulen unos pocos.
Argentina was never communist, but the government has played an outsized role in the economy since the end of World War II. Protesters regularly take to the streets to defend the status quo against Milei's agenda. But the status quo has brought the country to the brink of ruin. Argentina faced 25% monthly inflation when Milei took office because the government was printing money to pay for things it couldn't afford. As a result, roughly half of the people in this country of nearly 50 million were living in poverty. Milei blames Argentina's downfall on la casta, which essentially means the elite class.
Dará fin a la casta política parasitaria, chorra e inútil que hunde este país.
Avanza en contra de toda la maldita casta política que evidentemente...
El Estado no es la solución.
El Estado tiene que pagar la casta política, y si no la paga la casta política...
But his opponents say his real ideology is that of Christopher Columbus and the colonialist invaders of another era, to pillage and plunder.
Milei es capitalista, es anarcocapitalista. Se trata de poniendo al capitalismo como el que va a resolver todos los problemas. Lamentablemente, el capitalismo lo que ha hecho ha enriquecido a unos pocos sectores a costa de que haya una población muy mayoritaria.
No podemos seguir soportando la miseria a la que nos quiere arrastrar este gobierno. Entonces vamos a estar en las calles permanentemente para enfrentar a este gobierno porque se tiene que ir.
Hola a todos.
As the protest grew across town at the luxurious Hilton Hotel, a different-looking crowd was gathering to hear Milei speak. It was the final day of a conference co-hosted by two libertarian think tanks, Argentina's Libertad y Progreso and the DC-based Cato Institute.
Después de acumular fracaso tras fracaso, nos olvidamos, la libertad económica trae prosperidad.
Argentina used to be a classically liberal country more than 100 years ago, and because of that was one of the richest countries in the world. So he draws on those traditions to make his case and to try to overturn 80 years of statism.
19th century Argentina was never anything close to a libertarian utopia. It had a powerful central government under the sway of wealthy landowners. But thanks to its 1853 constitution, which was modeled after the US founding document, it became a more or less laissez-faire democracy. Tellingly, about 6.6 million European immigrants migrated here in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, seeking economic opportunity and refuge from war. They coined the phrase, rich as an Argentine. The economy grew by 7% annually before World War I, faster than that of the US, Australia, and most of Europe.
Buenos Aires is the biggest business city in South America, and the third largest city in the Western Hemisphere.
Buenos Aires' historic buildings hint at the nation's former grandeur. Now they're shabby, decrepit, and in need of updating. Milei wants to reverse the century of decline and restore Argentina to its former glory.
La historia de los últimos 100 años de nuestra patria permite un vistazo, una pequeña ventana a la que podría pasar con el resto del mundo libre si baja la guardia y se deja de seducir por el socialismo. Porque son las mismas ideas que hoy están en boga entre las élites de Occidente las que en Argentina destruyeron la libertad y nos condenaron a la pobreza. Fruto de que nos lavaron el cerebro durante más de 100 años con políticas socialistas y dirigistas, creen que tiene que haber cosas sectoriales, que hay que controlar los precios, que hay que manejar la dinámica de tal precio, que hay que controlar el otro. Muchachos, soy liberal libertario, yo no voy a hacer ese tipo de porquería, yo creo en la libertad, no creo, digamos, que los políticos son dioses.
He's sort of become an international leader at a time when so many countries are going in the other direction.
Elon Musk beamed in as the warm-up act for Milei.
From everything I've read, he's making all the right moves. I would just encourage the people of Argentina to give him their full support.
Milei spent significant time in the US during his first 6 months in office, meeting with business leaders. He's the first Argentine president to become an international celebrity.
What's happening in Argentina is not just important and momentous to Argentina and certainly to Latin America, but it's important for the rest of the world.
Milei, an academic economist, made tackling the monthly double-digit inflation and spiraling deficits left behind by his predecessors the central theme of his speech at the conference.
Precios que viajaban ya al 1,5% diario y que conjugados con la deuda del Banco Central nos llevaba camino a una hiperinflación, con el agravante de contar con indicadores de pobreza mucho peores que en la antesala de cualquier otra crisis de nuestra historia. Es decir, estábamos frente a lo que iba a ser la peor crisis de toda la historia argentina.
Since Milei took office, Argentina's inflation has dropped from 25% to under 4% per month, which is still dreadful, but also a spectacular improvement. His spending cuts led to the first budget surpluses in more than a decade, and the economy was shrinking for 6 months prior to his election, but 6 months into his term, economic activity increased year over year, despite predictions to the contrary. Milei eliminated stringent regulations on rental contracts, and the supply of available apartments in Buenos Aires roughly doubled.
Nobody expected it to turn around that much.
Y que esperamos que si seguimos teniendo éxito del modo que lo estamos haciendo, tengamos 2 mandatos y empezar la era liberal.
We always knew that this policy change, especially this thoroughgoing libertarian reform agenda in Argentina, was going to be a titanic task. I mean, the Peronists are still in Congress, they're still in different positions of power, they still hold a number of governorships, and there are plenty of interest groups that benefit from the old system. And so that's what he's up against.
What Milei calls La Casta has its origins in the post-World War II era, when President Juan Perón built vast patronage networks and gave political interest groups outsized influence over the economy. Perón was inspired by the orderliness imposed on society by Italian fascist dictator Benito Mussolini, whom he once called the greatest man of our century.
A glamorous figure in expensive dresses and lavish jewelry, Evita is also a dazzling ambassador at large for Argentina and one of the most powerful women in this century.
The Eva Perón Foundation, named after the First Lady, who is still a cultural icon, displaced the Catholic Church as the main provider of Argentina's social safety net, funding its so-called social justice mission largely through state subsidies, union dues, and big business shakedowns.
When the money keeps rolling in, you don't ask how.
This song from the musical Evita offers a critical take on Peronism. As the money rolled in, it came with a heavy dose of paternalism. The government, and the loving and generous president and his wife in particular, had come to take care of the needs of their people.
Think of all the people guaranteed a good time now. To the poor, to the weak, to the destitute of all complexions. Now cynics claim a little of the cash has gone astray. But that's...
Peronism carried on in Argentina through the generations. President Nestor Kirchner was succeeded by his wife Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, and together they held office from 2003 to 2015. They governed with a progressive agenda shrouded in a Peronist personality cult. Milei's immediate predecessor, President Alberto Fernandez, had served as an advisor to the Kirchners and continued the Kirchnerist policies of high taxation, deficit spending, and heavy regulation.
Durante más de 100 años, los políticos han insistido en defender un modelo que lo único que genera es pobreza, estancamiento y miseria. Un modelo que considera que los ciudadanos estamos para servir a la política y no que la política existe para servir a los ciudadanos.
But the Kirchnerists and Peronists still hold almost half the seats in Argentina's national legislature, where they fought Milei's reform bill.
Cuando esta ley de base va a contrapelo de los intereses y de los objetivos por los que militamos y luchamos toda la vida los militantes peronistas.
Darle facultades delegadas a alguien que se cree que viene de un futuro apocalíptico y que es un Terminator.
Y que es un topo que quiere destruir el Estado.
Señor presidente, no somos mierda, no nos trate como tal.
Una moción es una moción. La moción existe sin ser...
Meanwhile, outside the legislature, the protests grew violent. Many Argentines are under economic duress. Foreign goods became more expensive when Milei cut the value of the peso against the dollar. He slashed spending on energy and transit and laid off 50,000 government workers, with plans for 70,000 more. The real value of government pensions has declined significantly, and for most retirees, they're not enough to live on. Milei has said that welfare recipients are victims, not perpetrators.
Es decir, son personas que como consecuencia de la intromisión del Estado adentro de la economía se quedaron sin trabajo.
And he pushed through some modest increases in benefits to cushion the impact of his cuts. Milei's critics questioned his administration's priorities when last April it spent $300 million on 24 F-16 fighter jets, although Argentina faces no foreign military threats. His spokesman says they were purchased at a good price and bolster the country's security.
Y van a garantizar el control del espacio aéreo argentino y tener respuesta inmediata ante cualquier amenaza que se acerque por aire, mar o por tierra.
Protesters burned a car belonging to a pro-Milei TV station. Others threw Molotov cocktails.
Estamos ante una bifurcación. O persistimos en el camino de la decadencia o nos animamos a recorrer el camino de la libertad. Hasta se está dando en la calle esa batalla.
It's a tricky thing for any democracy when you have mobs on the street that are violating people's rights. And in Argentina, that has been the case for decades. And these are Peronist-led mobs. They block people's access on the roads. They plunder businesses. They destroy property. They overturn cars. They do that in order to get a particular political outcome. So obviously you can't just let that happen. But up until now, they have been afraid to counter that.
Afortunadamente tenemos una gran ministra de Seguridad y que está poniendo la calle en orden.
Los que incendian autos, los que destruyen bienes públicos, ¿qué son si no son delincuentes? Explíquemelo usted.
Big protests are common in Buenos Aires, with at least one occurring every month in the first half of 2024. Milei's Minister of Security, Patricia Bullrich, has moved to impose limits.
El derecho de la protesta está absolutamente vigente. Lo único que les decimos es que el derecho de la protesta es sin cortar calle. ¿Está claro?
Milei has proposed that the government use AI to identify faces in the street, and he's threatened to cut off welfare payments to anyone caught blocking the roads. In January, he sent unions and activist groups a $66,000 bill for the cost of additional cops. Shortly after police clashed with protesters outside of the legislature, Bullrich posted a video glamorizing the crackdown.
El que vos no puedas porque se te ocurre, porque un día te levantaste con ganas de cortar una calle, cortar una ruta o prender fuego a un monumento histórico, eso es lo que nosotros no permitimos y eso es lo que nosotros reprimimos y lo vamos a seguir haciendo con toda la fuerza que podamos.
Like many members of Milei's inner circle and fledgling political party, Manuel Adorni is a political outsider, working as an economist and opinion journalist before becoming Milei's spokesperson. He's often combative with the Argentine press.
Bueno, yo si quiere lo junto con gente de seguridad para que usted les dé sus fantásticas ideas, para que efectivamente con un cordón podamos tratar de que los que tiran piedras, empujan, golpean y roban, bueno, se comporten un poco mejor.
How do you balance the need for public order with the respect for free speech that a liberal administration like the Milei administration professes to have?
La mayor parte de la sociedad nos apoya porque entendemos que hay un montón de gente honesta que se levanta todos los días a trabajar, que paga muchos impuestos y gente que debemos proteger y no podemos permitir que un grupo de inadaptados, sea más grande o sea más pequeño, incumpla la ley, rompa bienes públicos, rompa bienes privados y que atente contra las fuerzas de seguridad. Cuando empiecen a detectar que algunos pasos van hacia atrás, que algunos pasos van hacia el comunismo, hacia la falta de libertad, hacia el socialismo, por más pequeño que sea ese paso para atrás, presten atención. Porque nosotros esos primeros pasos hacia atrás nunca nos dimos cuenta y terminamos con un país inmerso en la pobreza, en la miseria.
The security minister, Patricia Bullrich, is also a drug warrior, regularly posting images of narcotics busts to her social media. She's ramped up the war on drugs, and libertarians are for legalizing drugs. What is the disconnect there?
El presidente Milei lo ha explicado en más de una oportunidad. Vos hoy tenés un Estado que te soluciona todo. Y vos no podés liberar algo cuando efectivamente el costo se lo haces pagar a toda la sociedad, de tu adicción, a las consecuencias que pueda tener tu consumo. Cuando tenés un Estado tan grande, tomar decisiones, primero te requiere de algunos cambios más profundos en la estructura del Estado.
Un total que llegó a ser tan dantesco.
Él es filosóficamente anarcocapitalista y efectivamente él cree en que ese norte, ese fin, la búsqueda permanente tiene que ser basado en las ideas anarcocapitalistas.
One of his heroes is the Austrian school economist Murray Rothbard, author of, among other books, For a New Liberty, which explains how a capitalist society would function without any government at all. But as president, Milei set out to work within the system.
Esa es la compatibilidad que uno tiene que tener, la distancia que hay entre la filosofía anarcocapitalista y la realidad. Digamos, el Estado está y hay que convivir con él, y efectivamente lo que el presidente Milei entendió en algún momento, previo al ingreso a la política, era que si de alguna chance tenías de modificar el sistema era desde adentro.
He's been compared to Donald Trump.
As the Donald Trump of Argentina.
Similar a Trump.
Mélange de Donald Trump et de Mick Jagger.
Milei's law and order approach and disdain for the left has often led media to compare him to Trump.
President!
Milei doesn't seem to mind the comparison, hugging the president at the Conservative Political Action Conference, where Trump gave his famous slogan an Argentine twist.
You know, he's MAGA. He's MAGA. Make Argentina great again. It's true.
Argentinos, pongámonos de pie y hagamos nuevamente grande la Argentina. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo! ¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
The two share a background in television, a strong sense of showmanship, and penchant for inflammatory rhetoric.
Al zurdo de mierda no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
And like Trump's critics in America, Milei's critics view him as dangerous, unstable, even outright psychotic.
Que está re loco. Está re loco mal.
Yo lo odio, me cae muy mal.
Me parece que es lo peor que nos puede pasar como sociedad.
Una persona así no es una característica de un buen líder, no, de un líder positivo, ¿no?
Even Milei's supporters call him El Loco, or the Madman, a nickname from his childhood.
The nickname doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I even enjoy it because I've been called like that since I was 10 years old.
His eccentricity generates constant media fodder. There are the chainsaw antics, the cloning of his beloved English Mastiff Conan, and his close relationship with his tarot card reading younger sister Karina, a political advisor who he refers to as El Jefe, or the male boss. But the economic crisis was so severe, voters were willing to take a chance on El Loco.
Many people say, well, maybe this guy is a little bit unstable, whatever, but you know, we try with all these other guys who are so smooth and whatever, and this guy at least seems to have strong convictions, he's not corrupt, he has integrity, let's try with this guy.
Milei's opposition has seized on his wild antics as a pretext to stop him. As the protests against Milei's economic reform bill roiled outside, one legislator on the inside attempted to short-circuit the proceedings with a motion to allow Congress to deem Milei mentally unfit to hold office and to remove him as president.
Necesitamos trabajar urgente en un proyecto de ley para proteger al pueblo argentino de futuros presidentes como Milei, que considero que es un enfermo mental.
Creo que es una cultura del poder, una adicción al poder, una adicción a permanecer en el poder, a manejar el poder.
A Milei ally, Congressman Damian Arabia, says Peronists would rather bring down the government than yield control.
Creo que sinceramente hay sectores que quieren desestabilizar al gobierno.
Almacenero sale para asustarlo a los escopetazos.
Así puede decir 39.
El golpe de Estado moderno ya no es el que van a tu despacho siendo presidente de la nación y te dicen te tenés que ir porque a partir de ahora gobernamos nosotros. Los golpes de Estado modernos son los que te van cercenando, te van desgastando y van haciendo que vayas perdiendo fuerza hasta que un día efectivamente te vas.
The opposition who's losing their power, they try to discredit people.
like me because we are different.
Es ridículo y la gente que los está mirando y los
Lilia Lemon, a Congress member and part of Milei's fledgling political party, is another political newbie drawn in by Milei's anti-establishment message. She's also a tabloid favorite because of her brief romantic relationship with Milei and interest in cosplay.
I don't come from politics like many in our movement. Libertarians usually don't like politics, and it's very difficult for them to organize.
Y la nuestra representa el 56%.
I'm here because I wanted to change my country, because I want to be a mother. I want to live in my country, I don't want to leave it. So I've been fighting for it.
Vos fíjate que yo creo que la expectativa de alguien que está en el primer mundo, ser libertarios o toda la gente que aboga por la libertad está enamorada de Javier. Es así.
Her opponents also paint her as a loony conspiracy theorist because she hosted a TV program about whether the Earth is flat.
When I was around 30, I did several TV pilots. And one of those pilots was about conspiracies. And I was talking about the flat Earth conspiracy. I was presenting it, not saying that I believe that the Earth is flat. Quiero explicarles sobre las teorías conspirativas con un ejemplo. Vamos a hablar de la teoría conspirativa de la Tierra plana.
And so, just to be clear for the record, you do not believe the Earth is flat.
No, and I don't care, actually. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. I think we have really, really huge problems.
Are you a conspiracy theorist? Do you believe in conspiracies?
I know that a conspiracy is a lie. And, powerful people lies every day, which some might be true or some might not be true.
What's a conspiracy then that you do believe in or that is true?
It's not quite a conspiracy, but here politicians and economists from socialism, and they say that inflation has several causes. And inflation is not the prices rising, it's a monetary phenomenon. That's something that libertarians know. But I will dare to say that politicians, even if they know what causes inflation, they cover it up because they need to keep printing money to pay for their political life. We are uncovering that.
Many members of Milei's governing coalition, by and large, don't share his libertarian views. They were drawn in by the cultural battles he's waged more so than his libertarian economic agenda. Milei dissolved Argentina's Ministry of Women, rolled back quotas for hiring transgender workers in government, and banned schools and government offices from using gender-inclusive terms.
Muchas gracias, señora Presidente. En primer lugar, el español me lo permite decir.
Ya me dijo
Presidente.
ente, Presidenta.
Señora Presidente.
Unlike many libertarians, Milei supports banning abortion.
El liberalismo es el respeto irrestricto del proyecto de vida del prójimo, basado en el principio de no agresión y en defensa del derecho a la vida, a la libertad y a la propiedad. El aborto va directamente contra la vida.
One member of his party promoted a bill to criminalize the practice, a move that likely would have provoked enough backlash to shatter his fragile legislative majority and threaten his entire economic agenda.
She is inexperienced, and she wanted to ban abortion.
So you think that was a mistake? That should not have done that.
It was the wrong time to do it.
Yeah.
And the project wasn't good. And she got me involved, and it was a problem for me. So I got really mad for that, but we're cool.
En lo único que devino esta agenda del feminismo radical es en mayor intervención del Estado para entorpecer el proceso económico, darle trabajo a burócratas que no le aportaron nada a la sociedad.
In your Twitter profile, you described yourself as gay, liberal, capitalist, and pro-market. How comfortable do you feel being part of this coalition, given your own identity?
Tienen sus ideas económicas en las que coincidimos y yo tengo luego mis ideas en las libertades civiles o sociales y ellos tienen las suyas. Pero no solo no son todos, sino que no es el presidente. El presidente considera que el matrimonio entre dos personas, el Estado no tiene nada que hacer ahí, ni entre quienes nos podemos casar.
Mira, es un contrato entre partes, ¿qué tengo que opinar yo? ¿Qué me importa?
Arabia says the libertarian approach to women's or LGBT rights shouldn't be to create special government ministries, but to expand liberty for everyone.
Lejos de querer un ministerio, queremos que el Estado no se meta en nuestras vidas. Simplemente nos deje ser.
¡Y viva la libertad, carajo!
Milei's unusual personality provides ammunition for those who say he's crazy, but that unusual personality also helped him get elected. Milei and Trump each became famous television personalities before rising to the presidency, but from the standpoint of policy, the differences are huge.
Hayek lo describió en un libro que se llama Camino de Servidumbre. Cuando vos metés una restricción donde vos lo que estás haciendo es atacar las libertades individuales, el resultado termina siendo peor que lo que tenías originalmente.
Trump is a nationalist and a protectionist, while Milei's a committed free trader.
Lejos de ser la causa de nuestros problemas, el capitalismo de libre empresa como sistema económico es la única herramienta que tenemos para terminar con el hambre, la pobreza.
Government spending exploded on Trump's watch, although his government efficiency appointee Vivek Ramaswamy pledges to follow Milei's lead and slash spending in Trump's second term. But there's no doubt that Milei shares Trump's flamboyance and social media acumen, and that both are crucial to his political success.
Milei mismo siempre dijo que su campaña la hizo a través de redes sociales. Yo creo que también por eso que pudo llegar bien a la juventud.
Augusto Grinner is a producer with a popular YouTube channel who helped spread Milei's message through memes and videos during the campaign.
Por ejemplo, justo Javier salió a hablar de la aportación de armas.
Su defensa y de sus abogados en su canal de YouTube.
Muy largo explicándolo porque yo ya hice 2 videos. Hay veces que escucho gente diciendo Argentina es liberal. No, lo que ganó Milei por ser libertario. Principalmente lo que la gente votó es anti-kirchnerismo. Por ese aspecto revolucionario, antisistema que siempre promovió él. Que antes, claro, la juventud la tenían los comunistas, porque era antisistema. Y hoy por hoy ser antisistema sería ser libertario.
Argentina's ruling class was so unpopular that he eventually won against the country's former economic minister with a larger percentage of the vote than any president since Argentina's return to democracy in 1983. But it was fury over the government's handling of the COVID pandemic that first vaulted him to social media stardom among Argentina's youth. Buenos Aires had the longest continuous lockdown in the world at 234 days.
El problema es la cuarentena, no es la pandemia. No hay un dilema entre salud y economía. O sea, te vas a morir de COVID, te morir de hambre.
A group of activists who do youth outreach for Milei attended the conference and later sat with me at a cafe to explain their support.
I think that Milei and his honesty and his attitude and the way he communicates made the people to say, "Whoa, I really like this guy."
Argentina fue el peor país del mundo en el tratamiento de la pandemia. Un gobierno que cometió un delito de lesa humanidad con la cuarentena, ¿sí? Durante la pandemia.
During Argentina's COVID lockdowns, Milei's predecessor, Alberto Fernandez, was caught hosting a dinner party for his wife in the presidential palace.
That picture was all around Argentina, and the people start thinking, if I in a meeting with my friends, I'm a murderer, but if the president does it, it's like if nothing happens.
Todo el episodio de la pandemia se transformó en un símbolo de la falta de libertad y en un símbolo de la falta de libertad que afectaba a la economía.
Sociologist Pablo Samán has written about the rise of the libertarian movement in Argentina.
Y al mismo tiempo los jóvenes fueron los que se enfrentaron con los resultados, los problemas, los daños de las políticas frente a la pandemia, porque además los jóvenes fueron vistos como una amenaza, ¿no? Porque los jóvenes, desde el punto de vista de la sociedad, eran irresponsables, podían enfermarse y transmitir el virus aunque ellos no se afectaran gravemente.
Argentina's youth came for the fiery lockdown critiques and stayed for the economics lessons. Milei offered an explanation for the inflation and poor economy that many had never heard before.
Previous to quarantine, I think that nobody in Argentina had the courage to call himself libertarian. It was like a bad word. Then Milei came here and they started to talk about libertarianism, about the Austrian School of Economics, about free markets. And now calling yourself a libertarian, maybe it's not a common thing, but it's really accepted because the government is actually a libertarian government.
Milei is spreading von Mises, von Hayek ideas, Menger, authors that weren't taught in universities or that weren't taken into consideration to study.
La inflación es una enfermedad que en el mundo tiene remedio.
Desafío y te voy a demostrar que la inflación es un fenómeno monetario, que es un fraude y es una estafa. Que es un delito que no está tipificado en el Código Penal y que debería estarlo. Porque, por ejemplo,
what's it like living through this kind of inflation?
You don't know how much the price of the food or the common things you buy every day what will the price will be in the next month. You know, if it will be a 10% more, a 30%.
It's important to know that inflation affects more to the poor families, and that's a crime. And politics can't be allowed to print money as he wants.
Ningún gobierno ha recibido una herencia peor que la que estamos recibiendo nosotros. Una inflación plantada del 15.000% anual, la cual vamos a luchar contra uñas y dientes para erradicarla.
Al estar tan cara la comida, está cara los medicamentos, la gente se priva de comprar un libro, comprar un disco de música, algo de eso. Entonces, a mí me impacta en eso, que prácticamente tengo muy poca venta.
Yo más que nada el transporte, se fue muy caro.
Bueno, te das cuenta cada vez que vas al supermercado de la pérdida del poder adquisitivo del dinero, eso es muy notorio y comparto también como tema de que no tenés noción ni de cuánto cobrar por tu trabajo si sos un trabajador independiente. Yo en mi caso agradezco porque nosotros no pasamos hambre, pero bueno, se ve en la calle todo el tiempo porque hay un montón de gente más durmiendo en la calle, gente comiendo de la basura y eso es una consecuencia de la inflación, de no poder acceder a un techo, de no poder acceder al alimento.
Pocos días, 6 meses.
Back at the conference, Milei and the economists supporting him believe they have the two-step solution to vanquish inflation once and for all. First, stop printing money, and then abolish the central bank.
One key weapon in the arsenal of populist governments, printing money to finance deficits. And by taking that option away, taking it off the table, you eliminate that danger, which is inflation and hyperinflation, which is totally inimical to growth.
Ocampo briefly advised Milei on how to achieve his campaign promise of abolishing Argentina's central bank and converting its debt to US dollars to prevent future administrations from ever running the money printer again.
Milton Friedman, in 1973, he was the first economist to come up and say Argentina should ditch the peso and take the dollar. He said, look, our monetary policy is bad, but you can't imagine how bad the Argentine monetary policy is. The dollar is a self-defense mechanism. The only way I can protect my savings, my purchasing power in a highly inflationary environment is by using the dollar.
But Milei hasn't pushed forward on that pledge. Scholars from the Libertarian Cato Institute, which co-sponsored the conference, say failure to dollarize and abolish the central bank would imperil his entire agenda.
Towards the end of the campaign, he didn't really mention it anymore, and they didn't implement it. I personally think that they could have dollarized already. They're really going after the deficit, and it's just a political decision. Eventually, if the left-wing Peronists return to power, it'll be far easier for them to print money again if you have the central bank, if you have the peso. Whereas if you dollarize, it's practically impossible for them to revert it.
Politicians are very worried about demolishing the central bank because that's one of the sources of their power, printing money and generating inflation. That's why they don't want you to know that inflation is caused by printing fake money.
Despite the intense media criticism, attempts to strip his power in Congress, and the political inexperience of his party members and opposition in the streets, the Senate approved the bill with a tie-breaking vote from his vice president, giving Milei a watered-down version of the legislation he wanted, but a clear victory nonetheless.
Para esos argentinos que merecen recuperar el orgullo de ser argentinos, y pensando siempre en todo por Argentina, mi voto es afirmativo.
Es impresionante el trabajo que se ha hecho. Hace 6 meses estábamos hablando de hiperinflación y de cuándo reventaba todo. Hoy, con mucha expectativa de lo que viene en la Argentina.
The bill will allow him to privatize parts of the energy sector, to cut labor regulations, and it grants Milei temporary emergency legislative powers to push his agenda forward without congressional approval for 1 year.
Unfortunately, when you are in Milei's situation, you have to ask for emergency powers.
Yeah.
So it's a bad tool, but it's a tool that unfortunately needs to be used. We're in a very suboptimal situation here. We don't have many of the options that other more normal countries have available. We lost the ability to do those things. And so what Milei is trying to do is a huge challenge.
Milei has since used that power to push forward privatization of the national airline. Grinner says his biggest concern is that Milei's movement won't outlast his presidency.
O sea, hacían memes de Milei como si fuera una estampita, una figura religiosa, como si fuera una especie de dios o algo así, o como que tenía un aura o algo así, pero era porque era gracioso y porque hacía que los kirchneristas se enojaran. Pero el tema es que después cada vez empezó a hacer más y ya llega un punto donde no sabes hasta qué punto la gente, los defensores del mileísmo creen que eso es cierto, hasta qué punto tienen esa adoración, que como digo, ser tan personalista y defender tanto a una persona y no a las ideas no es muy liberal. Así que eso un poco nos preocupa.
Grinner was once close to Milei, but more recently they've had a falling out. He says that Milei has pushed away many former allies, replacing them with sycophants and political operatives from the prior administrations. They may sabotage his libertarian agenda, and La Casta will reassert power.
Daniel Scioli, secretario de Turismo, fue vicepresidente de Kirchner y en cuanto ganó Milei dijo, bueno, ahora soy liberal.
Argentine society remains divided on Milei. His public approval rating dipped below 50% 6 months into his term, though he remains far more popular than his predecessor.
Hoy no hay alternativa política a Milei. La oposición está muy desprestigiada y la oposición ni siquiera se da cuenta que está desprestigiada, por lo tanto no asume como tarea propia reconstruir su prestigio. Más bien la oposición vive esperando el apocalipsis de Milei.
And whether or not that will happen will become clear during the 2025 midterms.
La desaceleración de la inflación funciona para los electores de Milei como una promesa cumplida y eso le renueva el crédito político. Al mismo tiempo, empiezan a aparecer nuevos problemas como el del empleo y entonces la adhesión a Milei está un poco erosionada. Ahora, como no hay ningún actor opositor que capitalice esa erosión, Milei continúa siendo el actor central, protagónico y con más elegibilidad política que hay en la escena política de Argentina.
In his inaugural address to the nation, Milei was clear that as he followed his mandate to steer Argentina in a different, more libertarian direction, the road ahead would not be easy.
No va a ser fácil. 100 años de fracaso no se deshacen en un día, pero un día empieza y hoy es ese día.
Imagine an Argentina in 5 or 10 years. What do you hope it looks like?
We have a stable government and you don't have to be worried about inflation and you can have planification of your own economy, you can grow. You can increase your lifestyle or the way you're living. Don't be so much worried about your kids leaving the country. And that's very nice. We're going to be happier.
Mis hijos son chiquitos, pero hice todo lo posible para que mis hijos dentro de 20 o 30 años se puedan ir de la Argentina, ¿no? Y hoy increíblemente estoy haciendo todo para que eso no pase.
If Milei's project works, and especially with a measure as radical but at the same time sound as dollarization, I think it'll change the game in the entire region. On the flip side, if it fails in Argentina, then it will be very, very difficult for libertarians in the next few decades to put our message across because the left will always be pointing to that example if it doesn't succeed.
Sure.
I think that around the world, all the politics will change to a liberty way of politics.
There are a lot of political figures outside Argentina that are taking pictures with Milei. He attracts votes in other countries. So I think libertarianism will be a really, really great and big movement, not in Argentina, but in the whole world. And it will all depend on the achievements of the government.